Hello! Today I would like to discuss with you some of the concepts of this book, which is called REWORK, which has been helping me to also dismantle some of the myths that we have in corporate culture, startup culture, but also, when you are leading a business. Well, one of the first concepts that really caught my attention in this book is the one from simplicity. We tend to think, especially, myself, I work in the blue economy area, I support blue entrepreneurs and also professionals to work their presence and their personal branding and their authority in the area. And I work mainly with scientists, and mainly they think many times that they need to over complicate things. But in business, in science this might be true, but in business it's not the same. And when we work with simplicity, with action, and with focus and clarity on what we want, that's how actually things happen. So excessive planning can lead to paralysis. That's also one very specific quoting that they have in this book, which is analysis equal paralysis. And that's an important thing that we have to keep in mind when we are managing a business or even want more efficiency to our work. Bureaucracy is also another topic that is quite criticized inside of this book, and with some points of true, because sometimes bureaucracy tends to overcomplicate things and create a culture of not trusting your colleagues and people. So this also does not support innovative enterprises in the environment. Another topic that they mention is this less is more. So, keeping your business simple, keeping your operational simple. So simplicity over complexity is something that will help you a lot when managing a business. Action over planning. So start as soon as you can, launch things early. Do not wait for things to be perfect so you can launch a product or something that you would like to bring to your consumer or your audience. Because if we keep too much time working on things and overworking on things, they tend to go to this concept of the paralysis, which is highly dangerous in business as well. Embrace the constraints. It's another concept that they bring, because limited resources, for example, they can be a very for many people, they tend to think that this is a big limitation. But sometimes limited resources can support creativity, can support a team to really think outside of the box, can support people to go beyond the obvious, and also to work with less, which is often good. So don't think that some constraints that you have are bad, because they can also bring for you a good set of creative skills that you and your team can work. This in this book they bring this concept of, in a prison, when people want to leave or escape of the prison, they generally do it with a spoon or just a piece of something. So that's the same business, the same concept that we can apply in business, because when you work in a place that has limited resources, or like, for example, the analogy of the prison, you can work with things that are at your hand with more speed or more creativity, and this can lead you to improved results. Another topic that they mention, which I think is quite healthy to bring nowadays, is to reject workaholism. We tend to glorify that in many cultures, right? We tend to think that people working more, they're working better, but actually when you work more and more and more, you tend to work worse and worse and worse, because you are more tired, you don't have time to rest, and your creative skills, they start to disappear and vanish. So productivity actually comes from the focus that you have, from the specific time that you do things, not from the hours that you spend working. Because what does it matter if people are sitting 8 hours in front of the computer, because if at the end they are tired just looking at the Instagram feed. So I think it's important also to bring this concept of rejecting workaholism in our business, because this can also lead people to mental health problems, and also creating a culture where just working more means something, even if people are not doing something very productive, by the way. So those are some concepts that they bring. Um, there are also other concepts that this book work, which are about the culture shift that we might nurture inside of our business. So meaningful work, believing on what you do. That's why personal branding also enters here, because when you are in peace with yourself, when you are organizing something that it's bring a meaning, bring some purpose to what you are doing, you work better, you work with more authenticity. And that's an important topic that you also can consider if you want more productivity in your life, is also to do something that is more aligned to your values. Another topic that they mention in this book is that you need to benefit from being small, and understanding that scale does not necessarily mean something fantastic for many people. So enjoy the good moments of being a small company, of maybe being an individual working just yourself on your business, because you'll see that actually in the end, when you are building a business, especially if you are in the consultancy area, you need less than you think that you need. You don't need a team of hundreds of people. What you need is actually to focus on the consumers. Focus on the consumers and solving real problems of this consumer, and developing your market research and your idea connected to this person and to this ideal client. So, if you are an individual also today and willing to scale a big team, think about it thousands of times, because if you have, for example, an investor behind what you're doing, or unnecessary growth, this can lead you actually to many problems that you are not idealizing today, but can affect the way that you do things. We know that many businesses, especially very small business, they start from a dream of somebody, right? Of creating something meaningful, of sometimes leaving a work that this person doesn't like, or doing something that is more connected to your wishes and your desires, and also your career paths. So enjoy also this moment of being small. Enjoy this moment of having a business, and creating something yourself. And this is something I learned a lot with this book, because we often tend also on this trap of seeing other people on LinkedIn and thinking that their professional life is better than ours. But we need to enjoy the moment of creating something great, creating something different. Another lesson that I learned from this book, it's about hiring. So many people are afraid of hiring people who had other business in the past, who were entrepreneurs, who were people that created things, because they are afraid of competition. But actually, it's quite good when you bring someone who has all those sorts of skills to your team, because those are people that know how to deal in scarcity. They know how to deal with small budgets, so creativity again. So small teams and people that are creative and already have created their own thing somehow, they are agile, they understand what they want, they have more clarity, and they are more they understand the needs of a project, right? From marketing to financials. So it's interesting to have someone in your team who already has this proactivity. And trust employees. That's another topic that I keep on thinking, because there is a huge culture of distrust in the corporate world, but we need to encourage ownership of people. If someone is dealing with a project, give them this responsibility of having this ownership around what they do. So these principles around, they connect with this idea of workplace autonomy, flexibility, and it's also applicable to the blue economy, to the sectors like agriculture, international cooperation, NGOs, renewables. All of this sector can learn from those lessons. And one thing that we need to keep in mind, and which my expertise, which is personal branding and branding, it's completely connected, is creating a work culture which is nice for your employees, which is perceived from the people from outside, from your clients, your stakeholders, or your partners. And this you do with a lot of trusted leadership, pride in your work and in the work of others, and enjoying working with people. When you work on this model from the inside, this is also perceived on the outside, because nobody wants to buy a product that at the end has exploitation connected, has, people who are not happy with their works creating, because at the end the result will not be a nice one. So this is a model, for example, used in the certification program called Great Place to Work. It's something that brings many of those conceptions for the workplace, and that you should also considering applying into your blue business. So this is a recommendation of a book that I can leave to you. Thank you so much for watching, and keep connected, because I will bring more tips and more insights from other sectors to the blue economy.